How's it going, guys? Host Berek, co-host Joey. Equity Podcast, episode number 20. Today, we're going to talk about what's the deal with CrossFit programming. Like, why do we do the things that we do, and what's the ideas behind it? And this is going to be very top level. This is something that I could really geek out over for.
This is 4-hour-long podcasts right. At minimum.
So we're just going to try and hit the bullet points, the main points.
Yeah.
If you're watching the video and you see us looking down, we're definitely not looking at notes that we have down here.
That we didn't write right before the show.
So don't worry about it.
Don't look at the man behind the curtain.
You see nothing.
All right, so speaking of bullet points, earlier in top level, our first major point is CrossFit programming is varied and not random.
Yeah, so like if you were just to know nothing about CrossFit, you just kind of look at your stuff, you're like, what are they doing? It's just like a bunch of random stuff that they throw at the wall and just whatever. Like it looks like they're just trying to get themselves to sweat and breathe heavy and whatever. But that's not it at all. It's varied, and what we mean by that is like it's always different, varied. But if something's varied, that doesn't mean that we're just randomly picking stuff out of the air. It's varied in that we're being very specific on what we're doing, and we're just gonna keep it changing as we go.
Yep.
But there's an overarching plan in mind for that. So now that being said, one of the reasons that we like the very not random is because it's fun and it's different.
Yeah.
For me personally, I found CrossFit because I was bored at the gym, doing that same thing every time, going in, and I just got bored, and I like the computer, so I was on the computer all the time, and I just stumbled upon it. It's like, yeah, that was fun. So, and that's why we do it. And you like doing different things. You like keeping it guessing. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things of the CrossFit programming is if you're having fun, if it is different, you're more likely to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, is it the most efficient way to increase your back squat or your shoulder press? No, but if you're more likely to do that thing, you're going to be able to sustain it and be have that longevity for the long run.
Yeah, it's a big marketing point for us too. Is you bored? Come here.
yeah. We never see that in our Instagram posts at all.
Well, not repetitive.
Yeah. So the other one, and feel free to jump in, obviously, Joe, is to keep the body guessing. So your body wants to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
Right? So if I back squat every Monday, my body's going to start getting used to that, and it's going to be harder and harder to get adaptation from that movement. But when we keep it guessing, we keep that body like, oh, what's happening now? And we keep throwing different things at it. Your body has to work harder, and we get more adaptation that way.
Yeah.
Right? So keeping that body guessing is going to let us keep growing as I don't like using the word athlete, but as people trying to get better.
It's also healthier in the long run because like as we're trying societally now, we're trying to like de-emphasize sitting in the same office chair every day. Like things that you do so consistently can result in some pretty negative side effects. And the same thing can be said for focusing on one specific aspect of exercise, just for your whole life. Like if you run every single day, you're probably going to get some repetitive stress injury from running.
Right. So we see that a lot. We have people that come in from running, and the runners that come to the gym have a lot of mobility issues. Yeah. That's actually what I see the worst. Like they're good. They know how to push. They know how to move. They know how to run. They know how to work hard, but their mobility generally is not great because the hands never go overhead, right? It's forward and back, right? There's no side-to-side movements. There's nothing.
It's not
other than that. And hey, that is. I'm not trying to discourage or talk
if you want to run every day, great.
No, right? No, it's doing that is better than nothing, and it's not. It's better than a lot of other things that you can do, but that's just one weakness where if that's all you're doing. Yeah. One of the other things, now we're starting to get more into like very specific programming type stuff. This is like the varied part. what we're trying to vary is our movement patterns, right? And it's not just thrusters, right, and toes the bar and all these CrossFit movements. What we're looking at is motor patterns. What we're looking for is squatting. We're looking for hinging, pushing, pulling, jumping, running, midline, static, isometric, tempo. Right? We're looking for all these different movement patterns, and that's where we see the movement, right? So if you see back squats one day, and then you see, or let's go with thrusters. You see thrusters one day, and you see wall balls a few days later. That's essentially the same movement pattern. You have a squat and a press, right? We're hitting that same movement pattern twice in a week, right? So it's not like, oh, I did thrusters and I haven't done them before. And those two things are going to help each other, right? They're going to help each other. There's going to be carryover through these movements as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now within that, that's kind of like at a, I wouldn't say a microscopic level or not a high level, but if we move a little bit higher than that, we have our modalities. So we have three primary modalities. It's going to be gymnastics. It's moving our body in space. Yeah. Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, air squats, right? That type of thing. Moving your body in space. No weight. Then we have weightlifting. That's moving in the object, right? That can be a kettlebell, dumbbell, whatever. And then we have our monostructural, running, rowing, skier, whatever that is. Yeah. One of the things I like to do, like when I'm doing, meeting somebody with the first time, I like to talk about, hey, what if we have to pick up that dog food or we have to carry our buddy upstairs? Yeah. That's weightlifting, right? If I have to get up on top of something, right? I have to get on top of my roof, or I have to climb on top of whatever. That's gymnastics. And then, I have to run and go get help, right? I have to chase my kid down the road, right? It's monostructural, right? Yeah. We use all those things in life as well. So when we're programming, we want to see combinations of those three things. So you'll see, we'll do a single modality where it's just running, right? We'll do a mix of monostructural and gymnastics. And then we'll do a mix of all three. Right, we kind of mix those up, so we're keeping our body guessing. Right, we're varying those plans, and a lot of times, if you look at like weeks of programming, and you kind of just be like, all right, let's have gymnastics, weightlifting, just put every single movement that you see, just write a GWM by it. You'll start seeing similar patterns in the programming, and then also same thing with the squat pattern or the movement patterns. If you just start writing squat, hinge, push, pull, you'll start seeing patterns as well. So that's kind of like the starting base. Hey, here's some of the guidelines that we're using to build that programming.
Second point we have today is models of fitness under CrossFit programming.
Yeah, so this is this is literally straight out of the L1 manual. Yeah. But I think it does a really good job of explaining what we're trying to build towards. Yeah. And so the first one is the 10 general physical skills, and this is actually something made by I always butcher the name, Dynamex. They're the people that make the wall balls, or like the original medicine ball for wall balls. So we have three different areas. You have organic change, organic skills. That's going to be strength, flexibility, stamina, and cardiovascular endurance. And those are things that you have to physically train. Like your body has to change. Your muscles have to get stronger. They have to get longer. You have to build your lungs, right? You have to actually make physical change. Then you have the neurological side of things. This is where you have to connect. You have to practice these things. You have to practice. You have to connect neurons. So this would be agility, coordination, balance, and accuracy. Right? We want to be able to do those things. And then you have the combination of both organic and neurological, where we bring those together, and that's going to be speed and power. Yeah. So these 10 general skills is when we're in the gym, we're trying to build these 10 skills up. And if we lack in one of those skills, we're not as fit as we could be, right? If we have one that's really strong, we have one that's really weak, we want to slowly build up that weakness and get better at it. So that's the 10 general physical skills, and the, the more broad we are in that, the fitter we are. Yeah. The next one is more about durations of workouts. So that's like the movements of what we're doing. We're talking energy systems. And generally there's 3 energy systems. It doesn't matter what they are. I can remember some of them. There's 3 of them, and I always mix them up. But it doesn't matter. There could be 5 energy systems. There could be 10. It doesn't matter how many there are. But generally speaking, we're going to say we have very short duration, high output. Think 1 rep max, right? Then you have your mid-range, medium output, medium time domain. And then you have your long, low output, low power output, long duration. Yeah. If you kind of graph those 3, power on the y-axis and time on the x-axis, you get these 3 graphs. One is like very steep, and then they kind of level out as they go. Yeah. We want to be fit underneath of that curve. We want to be able to be strong in the short energy systems. We want to be strong in the long energy systems. We want to be balanced between all 3 of those. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a workout like Fran that ideally is sub 5 minutes. You're also going to see, a 1 rep max, right? I talked about that before. And then you're going to do Cindy, 20 minutes. The last 2 days, we've done 2 30-minute workouts. So, right, we're trying to get those different ranges. Now, in a class atmosphere, we can only go so long, but we get as long as we can in there.
Yeah.
Right? And then our last one is the hopper. We were kind of talking about this pre-show.
Yeah.
It's a very kind of abstract idea, but they actually used it in the first CrossFit Games. Yeah. So the idea is, let's say you have this giant hopper, or think of like a 55-gallon drum, right? Yeah. And it's on its side, and it's like a giant bingo thing. And what you do is any physical task that you can think of, it doesn't matter what it is, throw it in. Like it could be ring muscle ups, it could be back squats, it could be whatever. It doesn't matter what. It could be picking somebody up, climbing a ladder, going up the stairs, anything. We roll it, we pick it out. We want to be able to have the capacity to do that thing. Mm-hmm. Now, some of those things are going to be super advanced. Think of like all the advanced gymnastics, right? Those are going to be really, really difficult, but we can start working towards those. Mm-hmm. Or we could have, hey, I don't have that now, but I have the strength to do it. I just need to work on the skill side of things. Yeah. Right? We want the capacity to do as many things in that hopper as we can. Are we going to be able to do everything? No, probably not. Yeah. But the more of those things you can do, the more fit you are.
Yeah. So our third and kind of final point, and probably the most important point I would say for CrossFit, is being fit for life.
So this is, I put this on last for a reason, because this is why we do why we work out in the gym. Yeah. We work out in the gym because we want to do other things. We want to be able to live our life to however we see fit. Everybody has a different perfect day, but whatever that perfect day is, CrossFit can help you realize that perfect day. Yeah. It can, if you want to do more traveling, being fitter is going to keep you healthier. You're going to be more healthy. You're going to be more fit. You're going to be able to do those things. You're going to be able to walk around Paris for 6 hours, right? You're going to be able to do those things. You're going to be able to go down and climb the Aztec pyramids, right? You're going to be able to do all those things. You're going to be able to chase your kids. You're going to be able to pick them up over your head. So, and then on the flip side of that, maybe it's obstacle course racing. You really like doing that. Yeah. Or maybe it's golfing. Or maybe it's that basketball league or volleyball league. CrossFit can help supplement those things by creating the 10 general physical skills that are going to translate to your sport and make you better at it. Yeah. Right? Like one of the big ways that it got started was in the military and police to supplement their stuff. They wanted to be better at their job, and they had to be ready for anything. Yeah. So they kind of used CrossFit to do that. And now we realize that can help everybody in their life. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it can help out. One of the other concepts is that we want to be able to outrun the lifter and outlift the runner.
Yeah.
So the example I always give, again, when I meet new people is squatting 1,000 pounds is an absolute amazing feat. And the people that can do that should, like, you should be impressed.
Yeah.
Because that is amazing. The person that can do that, think about how they feel when they go upstairs.
Yeah.
It's gonna, they can do it.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be? Could they be breathing a little heavy? Maybe. Yeah. Or like even if they can go upstairs, think about trying to run a mile. Right. That's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
Right. Now the marathon runner, that can do that sub 3 hour, 2.5 hour mile. That is amazing feat. But again, can that person deadlift their body weight? Probably not.
Yeah.
Right? If they need to carry somebody somewhere, it ain't happening. So, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with those individual pursuits. If that is your goal to squat 1,000 pounds, I get it. Let's do it. If you want to run that sub 2.5 marathon, let's do it. I love it. But for most of us, we want to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
We want to be able to do anything life throws at us, and that's why we do this. For me, I want to chase Elle around. I want to be able to pick her up. I want to be able to go hiking, and I also want to be able to have a little competition in my life and do some competitions and have some fun doing that as well. So go paddleboarding or whatever.
Absolutely.
Now we just have to get somebody else in here. Weird Al's nephew. Actually, probably grandson now. He's a little older.
He's like 70, right?
If you're not on video, just Weird Al, comment below if you agree with me. If you think it's somebody else, let me know.
You're putting a lot of faith in me not to cut this part.
Could be Josh Bridges too. There we go.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Sorry.
I don't want to be Josh Bridges. He's short. He's tiny.
All
right, that's going to do it for us today. Questions, comments, concerns, let us know. Again, touch me or Berek, YouTube, anywhere you want to.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you like. Yeah. I did a lot of talking today.
Yeah.
So this was either the worst one ever,
or you really liked it for some reason.
Or the best one ever. This is one of the two.
This show's direct opposite of last month's show. Yeah. All right. Well, have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys.